Hello, Ravens fans, and welcome to another season preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, the Sports Information Director at Anderson University, and joining us for our volleyball season preview is head coach Tami Miller. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. So to kick things off, tell us a little bit about what your goals and expectations are for this season.
Well, certainly one of our goals is to improve in our conference standing from last season. You know, the kids were obviously not pleased with a ninth place seeding in the rankings. But after last season, I'm not surprised by it. The good news is we have everybody returning. So, you know, to move up in the conference, we'd love to sneak into that top six, you know, and advance to the conference tournament. So that ultimately is our goal, and then improve on our win-loss record, of course.
And even with our placing from last year, we saw a lot of promise coming at the very end with a very competitive match with undefeated Transylvania in the conference, and then some solid wins against Manchester.
For sure. Yeah, that game against Transylvania, without a doubt, was one of the most exciting, you know, matches that we had all season, the best that we played. You know, we had the I guess limitation with Tess Purdue, and, you know, limiting some of her reps with her knee injury. So, you know, just having some stipulations there that, you know, we could play the what if game, but it was an outstanding match by, you know, two great teams at that time. And so we look to take that momentum into the season for sure.
Okay. And then, so now what are your team's strengths for this year?
Well, one of the big strengths has to be that we're returning everybody. You know, we didn't lose a starter. So when you look at some of that, and, you know, you can play the, you know, the COVID card and go, gosh, if these kids want to stay together for another year, it'd be exciting. Certainly not as common, you know, in the female athletics realm, as they're ready to get out and move on. But for now, and looking at this fall and what we've got ahead of us, you know, we've got everybody back from an offensive standpoint to defense to, you know, even our setters. So, you know, if we can take what we did, like we said, against Transylvania and move forward with it, we definitely have a promising season looking forward.
Yeah, and it's not even just our starters; it's our whole primary rotation. That's
For sure. Yep. Whole rotation, and then we've created some depth with some new players and even returning players. You know, the defensive spot with Allie Hall, and then some new kids coming in. So, you know, we're excited about everything that we've got. You know, with the 17 kids we have on our roster, we have an honorary team member in Alexis Sorrell. You know, she's unfortunately lost her mom this last year to cancer. So we've kept her on the roster as an honorary member, but, you know, we've got 18 kids that we're excited to have and to be able to move forward with.
Okay. And then now to going a little bit into our returners, our number that we got there. Break down a little bit about some of the players that's going to make an impact for this year.
Gosh, you know, as we just talked about, you know, the fact that we have everybody coming back, you know, so it's a long list, you know, when you talk about returners. You know, Brooke Troyer in the backcourt is going to continue to lead us with the help of Aaron Roach and Allie Hall. So from that standpoint, we're excited defensively. Casey Gates and Kate Todd and Hannah Rady, you know, those three individuals from an offensive standpoint are going to run the offense. You know, all three, you know, with great court experience, you know, so we have three to choose from. And we brought in a freshman, Carson Brandt, who has a little dual role from a defense specialist to a setter, doing both of those. But those three primary returners, you know, are going to help there. And then from an offensive standpoint, you know, as you indicated, we have not just a starting lineup, but the whole rotation, you know, so we're looking forward to having, you know, Felicity Bontrager back, and, you know, looking for her to lead our offense, and Shay Perry in the middle. And then our pin hitters, you know, Tess Purdue, you know, I think just looks as strong as I've seen her, you know, in the 3 years she's been with us. You know, she had a medical hardship that first year, so has some eligibility to give. And I think she looks great right now. And our right sides in Ashlyn and Jimena, those two kids are just going to bring some offense to us and bring some blocking power as well. And then Sydney McLean as well, if we can keep her healthy and in the front court. So we've just got some great players in those roles, and even some kids who didn't get a ton of court time because of COVID or injuries or whatever. Mary Engbrecht, Melanie Marchena. So you've got some other kids there that are going to contribute down the road as well.
Okay, and then now looking at our 3 freshmen that are brought in, that came in for this year. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, as I'd indicated, Carson Brandt kind of has a dual role for us, right now with practices and doing some setting. We right now utilizing her a little more as a defensive specialist, and we'll see if that has to change. All of that, as and in any athletic realm, depends on injuries and how we move forward with that. But so she's doing a great job, solid player. So we're excited to have her. Locally, we have Lauren Dungan from Alexandria. She's a great all-around player. She's not the biggest kid on the court, but she can jump out of the gym. So, some kids look past her and think that, she's a backcourt player only. But for us, we just consider her to be an all-around player and contributing great things for us there. And then Olivia Rasisa, she is coming out of Ohio, and she just is a great offensive player for us. I look to see her, definitely finding some court time early on for us, and really finding her way into that starting lineup, and can be an all-around player for us as needed. So the best thing about her is she has the ability to play, outside, middle, right side. Right now we're looking at pins for her, with obviously having City and Shay returning in the middle. So Olivia is going to find herself on the court, and we're excited about the power that she brings to us.
Okay, and then as we get into our home opener, we play Albion. Now, what are your expectations for that match and the team that you'll be facing?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We've kind of had them on our schedule for a couple of years, but with COVID, not seeing them for 2 years, not sure what she's got returning and where she's at. The one thing I know about her is she's always tall. We're typically outsized, not that that's unusual for us, with the size of kids we have. So they bring a big punch in the front court. So offensively, we know that they're going to come out swinging. And, one of the things that we've been working on, especially in this preseason, is our blocking. So we're hoping to slow down that attack a little bit, give our backcourt some options. And then for us, really just to fundamentally be sound and, do the little things right. But if we can slow their front court down, and then on the flip side of that is for us to be able to hit around that big block that they provide, then, we really think that we can be successful, and it's going to be a great competitive match.
All right. And then finally, what does your team need to do this year to be successful?
Yeah, I think the big thing for us, there's 2 things, really, 2 key elements for us. One is believing that we can, that we can win and we can be successful. That match against Transylvania, had to be I think an eye-opening moment for those kids to say that we can compete with the best. And, even though we fell short, moving forward, we hope that gave them the confidence to show them that 100% they can compete with anybody. But in order to do that, and we did this well against them in the matches, to fundamentally be sound and be disciplined to do all the little things correctly. I think sometimes we fall short of that, and it's evident, and that's why we're at, in the conference. But we've worked extremely hard during this, couple weeks of preseason to make them more disciplined and understand that if we do the little things right, it pays off at the end of the match.
All right. Well, I think I've covered the questions I wanted to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow along with any more season previews and any more content we may be putting out on YouTube. Of course, be sure to follow along with your Anderson volleyball team. Again, they open against Albion on Wednesday, and then have several matches throughout the year that you can root them on. Coach Miller, thank you for joining us, and good luck this year.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Aaron.